Before we get into today's video, I just want to remind you guys, please like, subscribe, follow. Also check me out on other social media. So decon_training on Instagram. And check out the website for classes, upcoming classes, stuff like that, demonstratedconcepts.com. It's also where you're going to find all the products, the recoil strap, the new sling that is out, as well as some other stuff. If you want more in-depth content, go to Patreon, link in the description, and you will see some of the write-ups I've done. Most recently, I just dropped a write-up on human anatomy and immediate physical incapacitation, how we get that, as someone who has worked on humans before. So I worked in the tissue banking industry for a while, took apart a whole lot of people doing that, and so I've seen some stuff that is relevant in that. So if you want to see that, go on to Patreon. All access members have access to those articles. I drop a new one about every other week. So guys, thank you for doing that for me. All right, here we go. Clean LTT target, 10 yards. Been a minute since I shot the test with anything but the LCR. So there's your 30 feet. All right. .526. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 96. You guys have asked me for some video of just me shooting at the range, or plinking or shooting around. And well, I'm gonna give you some shooting video as I usually do, but I wanna just address it. I don't really plink. I've been invited by some gun casuals, or just some people who, in my opinion, they're people who like the idea of loud noises and recoil. They're not gun people at all. They're awful shooters. And the reason why they're awful shooters is because they go to the range and they just shoot around or plink. So some other questions from you guys, some of the patrons. You guys have asked me what I do during my live fire to optimize my shooting and to maximize my training value or my practice value. So here goes. First thing, when I go to the range, I have a set of drills in my head that I know that I can always shoot, and I can always find value with those drills. Some of those you've seen me shoot over and over again. They're known standards, like dot torture is pretty good for every level of shooter all the time. You can always make that drill or that exercise harder by just, backing away from the target or running it to par times. I really like those target sizes. So like 2-inch dots on a piece of paper are great. Dot torture has that. The Langdon tactical target has that. You'll see that in just a second. There are also a lot of precision focused drills that I do. So just B8s. Whenever anyone says they shot a B8, what they should mean is that they took the B8 target. You can go to demonstratedconcepts.com, go to the targets page and print out my version of that. That's the PDF for an 8.5 by 11 that has 2 B8 centers of the 9 ring and inside. What they mean is they are using one of those targets or just a B8 from NRA, whatever. They're posting that up and they're shooting it from 25 yards and they're shooting it for score. It is a bullseye pistol drill. You can shoot it however you want. You can shoot it from the holster. You can shoot it from low ready, compressed ready. You can shoot it for time. You can shoot it just for the highest score. The way that I typically try and shoot my B8s is I will either shoot for max precision. If I'm testing a new gun, I want to know that a gun can at least always get a 90 or higher on that scoring from 25 yards. So that's slow fire. The other thing with the guns that I actually carry, I always want to, I want to be able to shoot like high 90s with those guns. The way that I shoot that now, it usually takes me about 10 to 15 seconds to shoot 10 rounds on that from the draw. That's a great drill though, because you can whittle down the time that it takes you to get a 90, or you can try and shoot 100s. When I was shooting the larger Glocks, like I was carrying a Glock 19 for a while, the goal was trying to get 110x in something less than 20 seconds. And that's a good goal. For the smaller carry guns, I've yet to actually shoot a 110x with my 365, the X or the XL. I don't know. It was really easy to find crazy precise ammo for the Glocks. I'm pretty sure that all the 365s are capable of it, mechanical accuracy wise, and that it's my failing that I haven't been able to get a 110x on that. But there it is, guys. B8s in general are great. They're great for precision. The other thing that I will do, I will always dedicate some part of training, usually a cold skills warm-up, like a cold skills drill, to just prove to myself where my baseline is before I've had practice. And those cold skill drills usually involve shooting some smaller target, like the 9 ring on a B8 or smaller, from the draw, something like 7 yards. That's a great drill. I'm trying to get that to where I'm always able to do that in less than a second and a half with the deepest carry. Usually it's somewhere between 0.9 and 1.25 for those to make the first, one shot, one hit from the draw. But the important part isn't the time. The important part is when you go out that you quantify your performance and you remember your performance from time to time so that you can actually track and see that you're getting better. Because you should be getting better. Even now, I find that my skill, there's an ebb and flow, there's a give and take, and I expect that, but I always want to go out and quantify it so that I know where I am. Am I decreasing in skill right now, or am I like super sharp and on my game at this moment in time? That's a good thing to know, guys. If you don't know your performance, then you cannot make a good estimate of when you would be able to, or what you would be able to pull off in some defensive engagement should you need to get to a gun. So it always focuses on draw work, that first cold skills stuff, and then I move on. Another set of drills that I like is transitions. So this is probably the most misunderstood set of drills that I do, because people see, oh, you're shooting 2 targets, so you must be focused on 2 bad guys. The quadrants drill that I do, if you've been to one of my classes, that's what we're talking about, is 2 targets every time you draw. I will also do multiple dots, so like you can print out dot discomfort from the website, or you can use a target like I'm using here, the Langdon target, LTT target, with a lot of 2-inch dots. Shoot it at a distance where you can actually make your hits, right? You don't want to, these drills are pointless if any more than, I'd say, 20% of your shots are missing, then you just need to get closer and be better. You're not quantifying anything with that many misses. But I'm trying to come out of the holster, put a shot on one target, and then immediately transition over and put a shot on a second target. It is not to simulate 2 bad guys. It is to be able to process the bang and then find a target again. Because bad guys often are not holding still, If you draw a gun on a bad guy, the odds of a bad guy just holding perfectly still while that happens is pretty low. So you're tracking during the draw. You press the first shot, and I'm always trying to make those immediately physically incapacitating hits. So like a 2-inch circle, that could be center of an ocular window. That could be any of the spine. That could also be a heart shot. If you hit in one of those areas on a bad guy, the vast majority of the time that we see hits there, bad guy starts to make his way to the ground like a sack of potatoes. So I focus on drills that force a transition from one small target to the next, because I don't want to get in the habit of double tapping eye boxes. That's kind of pointless, right? It's also kind of sketchy. Like, you put one shot in an eye box and then your second shot was right on top of your other shot, but the bad guy has moved out of the way of the target, or sorry, moved out of the way of that shot, you know, before you could actually press it. So even though you have 2 shots stacked, one was a definite hit and a game ender, and the second one was sending some negligent round off into potentially a good guy. When you focus on drills that make you find a second target, they make you find the target again, and press the trigger, that's better. Could you do that with just one target? Yeah, but people don't. People don't end up doing that when they're shooting the same small target 2 or multiple times. They don't. What they do is they know, they draw the gun, they align the sights, the dot is on target, they press the first shot, and they know that their body has not moved. So as soon as they drive their hands and the dot back to where it was before, back to where the eyes are still aligned, they press the shot again. They press it without processing the actual target. They're just looking for the same sight picture again, or sight alignment again. That's bad in my mind. What is much better is finding the target, putting the dot on the target again, because the environment changes very rapidly in all of the videos that I've ever seen of this stuff, all of the cop shootings, citizen defender shootings. Yeah, so this is a set of drills that I will do pretty often. I vary it. It could be an 8.5, 11 folded into quarters like the quadrants drill. It could be the dot discomfort drill that I'm doing with the target that I have on the website. It could be dot torture, shot in, you know, my way that I want to shoot it. It could be the LTT target. But yeah, guys, I go with those drills in mind. So here's me shooting some of those dot drills and those transition drills. Six feet, clean dots. Slow. 225, but those are in. Let's do the 1 and the 6. Top left, top right. .217. Whew. Hits are in though. Let's do the 7 and the 2. .189. They are the 7 and the 2. They're in. Just gonna lower you guys down here. All right, a little easier to shoot. Oh, let's do the 8 and the 1 diagonal. 8 first, then the 1. There's 2 shots on the 1 already. So 221, 8 and 1. Let's try and do 8 and 1. Well, let's do it in time. That's a 190. There's the second shot on the 8 and then the perf on the 1. All right, let's do a 3 and a 5. 3 and a 5. 6 feet. Whoa. All right, so it's a squib, but I see a hole. I see a hole in the 3. I say a squib, like it's a light load is what I mean. So that was a 1, what, 1 1/4 or 1.5 draw, whatever. All right, let's do the 3 and the 5 for real now. Crap ass ammo. Oh, I pulled one. All right, so that's a 185, and it took me how many reps before I actually pulled one? So there's that 5, and I could feel it, guys. Yeah, fun drill. I'll keep going. A 9 and a 5. I'm just calling out 2 random numbers. 9 and a 5. Little over my time, but both hits are in. I'll do a 4 and a 10. Those are both clean squares, or clean circles. 4 and a 10. Just over the time limit, 2:01, guys. They're in, though. It was the 4 and the 10. All right, so let's do 17395. That's a 377 for that. I don't know what the time should be. And I pulled the last shot, the 5. Everything else was in. So yeah, fun little drills, stuff that you can do. This is the Langdon target. I know a lot of great instructors that like this target. Now, aside from that, I will rotate these drills, but I will always have in my mind some focal point for the day. Maybe the focus is on these multiple string or these multiple shot drills. Well, I want to be able to get my first shot off and never miss. Maybe the focus is I want to have my first shot fast. Sometimes I'll shift the focus to overall times. And sometimes I just work precision. I'm dancing around all of the things that matter. I'm not just grinding on one skill set. And usually I'll take a drill and I'll shoot it for a certain focal point. Then I'll move on to the next drill and shoot that drill for something completely unrelated. I like to switch it up. I like to do a speed drill. And then I'll do a precision drill. And then I will do a 1-shot speed drill. And then I will do a multiple shot precision drill, just to kind of try and confuse the brain. I will do different start positions. So standing, kneeling, sitting. I will also incorporate a little bit of movement, but I'll tell you this, guys, I don't do a whole lot of movement. I know some of you guys seem obsessed with, like, unless you're shooting it on the move, while someone's screaming in your ear and you've got simulated blood squirting in your eyes, that it's not real. That's bullshit. You should be working each of these little micro skills on their own so that you can see the improvement in that tiny specific area. And then you can quantify your improvement in that area and do it to the next tiny little thing. And that is how you become a well-rounded shooter. The guys who are always just doing the like, whatever, tactical fantasy, all of their drills are more like USPSA or IDPA shooting stages. I don't know, guys. Now there's a place for that. Competition is excellent, and that is a test, though, in my mind. You go out there to see, are you able to put all of the stuff that you've been working on and apply it to an environment that has a little bit of stress, and maybe apply it to an environment that has a very specific rule set. That's not going to make you worse at things. It's going to make you better, but it's not everything. And unless I think for all but the highest level shooters, just shooting competition all the time is not at all a good replacement for running drills and quantifying little tiny like micro drill stuff on the range. So there it is, guys. Longer video. I know I'm talking at you guys about kind of theory and my method and approach to maintenance and improvement of shooting skills rather than just a whole bunch of shooting video, but there it is. I think that's what you guys asked for. If you have any other stuff that you want to see, as always, go in the comments and let me know. Thank you to all the patrons. You guys are kicking ass. You guys are helping me so much in, well, really just in helping feed my family, keep a roof over my head, as well as doing cool stuff on the range with the oddball questions that you have and the cool stuff that you ask that I'd never think of. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the button and all of that. Keep training, stay safe.